Saturday night it is UFC 239 at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, and right now we're looking at the featured fight on the card. Not the title fights, but the one that I think might have people the most excited in some ways, even with the greatest of all time in the men's division, the greatest of all time in the women's division. You got the grudge match between Ben Askren and Jorge Masvidal. These two have been going at it. Dan, I guess simple breakdown. It's striker versus grappler. Is it that simple? I mean, is that where you started from?
I mean, you know, you're right. As far as the grappling, the 2 points of interest for me, at least, it's going to be the wrestling and more so the endurance are the key factors on both sides here. You know, obviously the wrestling, the checkbox is going to go to Ben Askren. That's no secret. But Jorge Masvidal, man, he's got some really deceptive counter wrestling. He showed that in the Damian Maia fight. And you know, if you think about it, as far as one of the best training partners to work with, a sticky grappler, Colby Covington. Say what you will about the man. That's one of the best training partners you can have for this matchup ahead. So I think it's going to be kind of a repeat of that camp and game plan. It's just for Masvidal's sake, hopefully he can pull it off a lot better as far as making those separations happen, because he's probably got the most stickiest grappler next to Maia across from him.
Yeah, no question about it. I think you're right. I mean, in this day and age, right, everybody's well-rounded to a point. It's just that, you know, Askren's wrestling is one of that top tier. It stands out. Meanwhile, Masvidal's striking is really, really good. So I guess this is really going to be about just who's able to impose their game plan, right? And it's really crazy, too, because I feel like I don't know what we learned from Askren's debut. You know, it was such a wild fight. I guess what we learned is that he could take a shot more than anything and keep coming. So when you had to put pen to paper, when you had to break this down, when you had to give your opinion, what did you come to? Who do you think gets done?
Well, you all know I'm a big Jorge Masvidal, big game bred fan. I picked him to upset Darren Till-John, and I came in leaning toward him here, but I think maybe it's my admitted bias a little bit. I've always been a big fan of the guy. I think I had to really kind of come correct with myself, because you said so yourself in that Robbie Lawler fight. He showed that he could take a big shot. Askren showed that on early in his career. He even showed that overseas in one, you know, being able to weather the storm of a Luis Santos and come on late. So ultimately, it was Ben Askren's ability to take a shot is what's kind of doing it for me. You know, Masvidal, he's one of the best. I think he's a better wrestler than Lawler. I think he can create better separations and strike off those breaks. But unless he puts Askren away, that's going to be a tough night. Now, if this was a 5-round fight, John, I actually would be picking Masvidal. You know, Askren against a guy named Nikolai Olekshayshin over in one championship. We saw Ben Askren kind of start to fade, and you know, he's only getting older here. We don't know when he could drop off as far as in an MMA fight. So that third round's going to be risky, but give me Askren by decision.
I dig it. I think that's a very likely outcome as well. Of course, you said it, game bred dangerous. You never know, but I like the way you're leaning there. Well, if you want more information and kind of walk through his full breakdown, check it out on MMA Junkie. Meanwhile, stay tuned. We'll have UFC 239 covered all week long.